Everyone who was in hip-hop was familiar with like your beef with Jay-Z. But how you'll still text him saying, you know this isn't over, right?
Well, when I released the track list for the album the other day, he released a picture with all his Grammys.
Nas and Jay-Z's old-time beef has resurfaced again, and it seems they aren't even planning on putting a stop to it soon. It all started after Nas released his new album, and Jay-Z's picture posing with about 20 of his Grammys was posted by Jay-Z's engineer Young on that same day. You may want to think it was a mere coincidence that Young posted the picture on that same day, but really, it wasn't. And if you look at it from another point of view, you might find out that Jay-Z was behind that post. We all know how competitive Jay-Z is, and it was as if he wanted to remind Nas that he is still on top no matter what. Fans think it was childish, but to Jay-Z, it was a mission accomplished. It caused a major uproar in the industry, and it has triggered their long-standing beef once again. Let's talk about it. Welcome to Gay Bible. In one of the songs in the album Nas released, King's Disease 3, he mentioned his beef with Jay-Z. He said, "No beef or rivals, they play it ether on title. Brothers can do anything when they decide to. In a Range Rover, dissecting bars from Takeover. Sometimes I text Hova, like this ain't over, laughing." That sounded like the beef has ended, and could potentially even lead to some sort of mutual benefit to the two of them, which I don't disagree to, especially since Nas's ether is now being played on Jay-Z's title. But from what's happening now, we know things aren't as chill like he wants us to think. Jay-Z's even revealed that they aren't even cool around each other when he was asked in an interview. So why make us think there's peace when there still isn't?
Okay, question as a fan, is it ever awkward when you're in a room with Nas? Because that ether takeover beef with y'all wasn't right.
It was disrespectful.
Yeah. It was a time, and it was a moment in time that was a great moment for hip hop. But for us, you know, we really have a good relationship. We laugh. We don't even. That thing is so far past, and I understand why. You know, even today, like people still fascinated with it, but it's so far removed. It's so far in the background that we're not awkward around each other at all.
When Young posted Jay-Z, Nas found it very funny. During his interview with Noah on Daily Show, he went public again and said his mind.
Everyone who was in hip-hop was familiar with like your beef with Jay-Z. But how you'll still text him saying, you know this isn't over, right?
Well, when I released the track list for the album the other day, he released a picture with all his Grammys.
That comeback definitely confirms that the two aren't done with their competition yet. They are still beefing, and it all started since the days when Biggie was the top in the industry. You see, Nas and Jay-Z are two rap lords alongside Biggie, R.I.P. They are super good, and we all love them, but we all know Hollywood and competitions. Biggie used to be the top in the industry, and this beef between Nas and Jay-Z has been because of their quest for Biggie's position in the industry. It all started in 1996 after Nas failed to show up for Jay-Z's recording session for the track Bring It On, a song from his album Reasonable Doubt. The album was released anyway, but due to Nas's absence, Swiss Beats sampled Nas's line from The World Is Yours, Pete Rock remix, on another song on the project Dead Presidents 2. This wasn't an issue until Nas released his second album, It Was Written, a month after Jay-Z released his. What's even more appalling was the fact that the first track of the album, The Message, includes some words that sounded like shots at Jay-Z. Nas said, "Lex with TV sets, the minimum." That doesn't really make sense unless you've watched Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt's music video. You would notice that he made mention of Lexus and even featured the vehicle in Dead President 2. So it turns out that indeed, Nas was throwing shade at Jay-Z, but then he said something totally different when asked by Complex. According to him, he wasn't shading, and Jay-Z in fact inspired his lyrics. He said, "I saw Jay-Z driving a Lexus with the TVs in them. I got rid of my Lexus at that point, and I was looking for the next best thing. It wasn't a shot at Jay, but it was just saying that's the minimum you gotta have." It's not a shot at him, but he inspired that line. It wasn't necessarily a shot at him, but because the song was a shot at everybody, he fell into that. But he definitely inspired the line. Well, no one expected that he would come out clean so quickly. The following year, Jay-Z released a song, Where I'm From, and a line said, "I'm from where pull your card and argue all day about who's the best MCs, Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas. He pretty much fired back at Nas with this lyric, and the same year Jay released his song, Biggie was killed in Los Angeles. And shortly after, he released another song, The City Is Mine. Sus, right? Well, it definitely caught the attention of fans. Could he have maybe wanted Biggie's position as the rap lord in New York City all along? Why couldn't he let Biggie be mourned for a while before laying claim on his position? These questions needed answers, and it's crazy to think that he laid claims so fast just to let Nas know that he is next in line. Well, Nas didn't keep it down after Jay-Z shot at him either. He released a diss track called Ether in 2001, and he fired back at Jay-Z saying, "I got this, locked since 91. I'm the truest, name a rapper that I ain't influenced. In 88, you was getting chased to your building, calling my crib in. I ain't even give you my numbers. All I did was give you a style for you to run with." He also accused Jay of selling out. Y'all deal with emotions like What's sad is I love you, cause you my brother. You traded your soul for riches. In case you didn't grab a thing from all that, Nas was literally reminding Jay-Z that he has been in the game long before him. He also indirectly claimed to be the rap lord by saying he has influenced lots of rappers. Besides that, he accused Jay-Z of copying his style and accused him that he sold his soul to the devil. A lot definitely went down between these two behind the scenes that we didn't know of, cause these accusations were too deep to be ordinary. He even went further, insulting Jay-Z, calling him ugly and a misogynist. He also mentioned an affair he had with Foxy Brown. Jay-Z then replied with his song, Super Ugly, and at some point, he talked about his affair with Nas's girl, Carmen Bryant. Carmen confirmed that, and truly she had a thing with Jay-Z while she was still with Nas.
But I was cheating with individuals that were in the same genre of music, the same circles, the same company. But I didn't look at it as if I was doing anything wrong. I felt like this is my circle too. These are my peers too. Like I'm in the box too. So it is what it is.
And who are those people?
I had a relationship with Jay-Z.
Jay-Z was bashed by fans after the release of Super Ugly. They believed that he went too far with his words, and it was so bad that Jay-Z's mother, Gloria Carter, got involved. She called the radio station Hot 97, insisting that Jay-Z should apologize to Nas and his family. He did as his mother said, but it was obvious that the apology didn't come from the right place. Nah, it didn't. He did what he did to make his mama happy, and it was definitely not for Nas. He eventually revealed that Nas said something that made him go over the line.
When that battle was going down, when it took place, was there anything that he said that made you go, ooh, he hit me hard with that?
Nah, because I was in it. So I wasn't viewing it from a statistical point of view. I was like, I felt there was things that was said that was over the line that made me say things that was over the line.
4 years later, they both did what fans wanted them to do for years. They reconciled, or so we thought. Their actions at the Continental Airlines Arena were so convincing that fans believed they would never allow negative energy around them ever again. In fact, in 2005, Jay-Z organized the I Declare War Tour and actually made up with Nas in front of their fans. They both performed Dead President and The World Is Yours, and while performing, Jay clearly said, all that beef is done. We had our fun. Let's get this money. All of that was definitely convincing, but that's not all. Nas ended his deal with Columbia Records a year after and joined Jay-Z's Def Jam. They even did Black Republican together after that to further let their fans know they are on another lane. But with what's happening recently, it's clear they only reconciled in public. Or did something happen after they reconciled that made things go back to the way they used to be? Anyways, fans aren't quiet on this one. In fact, they believe Nas is king when it comes to lyrics, while Jay-Z won when it comes to money. Someone even said, doesn't matter how much money or monetary stuff he has, he does not have the W. That is cemented in hip-hop history, and Jay knows it. Another said, Nas is the closest thing we got to Big L. I don't know how true that is though. So who do you think? And isn't Jay-Z just being petty for bringing up the beef again after several years?